Friends, family, you fishy little devils, we are gathered here today not to mourn, but to celebrate two of the world's greatest gifts that were ever bestowed upon civilization. A lot can be said about these men. Some say they were but only a couple of innocent bystanders. Not to me. Some say they were just what they were, commanders, commandants, generals. Not to me. Some say they were just two men born into this cruel world. Not to me. And lastly, some say they were just drawings. But not to me. No. To me, they were the reason you get out of bed in the morning. Their sacrifices were the reason you can tuck into bed at night and get this suggested 6 to 9 hours of sleep, depending on your lifestyle. Everyone's needs are a little bit different. 6 to 9 hours that they never got. They never slept. And lastly, they were the reason you make sure to give people an equal half when sharing a potato. So it's today, with a heavy heart, I reach deep into your ear canals and say, keep moving forward, you wimpy tots. It's what they would have wanted, in memory of Commandant Keith Sades, in general, not commander, put some respect on his damn name, Theo McGath. It's at this time, I believe that my brother in arms, Chad Chart, has prepared a poem in honor of our fallen heroes.
I will now be performing a self-made haiku. You were always special. You can finally sleep. Sometimes things are better left unsaid. I wish you weren't dead. But in the end, you were always a friend. Your comrades will now keep on fighting because you served their enemies a proper lighting. You too, General. Don't think I forgot about how you made me feel so visceral. Even though you both treated children badly, y'all were the heroes in the end, and you made me feel Chadley. Keith Sades' nuts aren't massive. We can tell you were just being passive. Proud of everything that you fought for, you're forever shaking me to the core. God bless the 12th Commander of the Survey Corps and the Commandant of our beloved 104th Cadets. Remain in paradise, our sweet, sweet prince. You can now finally rest. You Shinzo Sasageyo'd up top with the best. We are giving, now, the first ever 20-second moment of silence.
It was fucking beautiful, Chad.
I couldn't do it.
It was fucking beautiful, dude. I can't believe they're gone.
It's been a long day
Without you, my friend.
but we'll tell you all about it. Oh, man. All right. Welcome back, guys, to the AoT Chronicles, an Attack on Titan podcast. We are obviously Chaz.
And I'm doing okay. I'm Ronnie.
And, man, we have got an epi today.
We do. I gotta lift the spirits a little bit. It's a celebration, everyone. It's a celebration. Let's do that.
A celebration of life.
Let's celebrate it. Oh, okay. What episode we doing?
We've got Season 4, Episode 27, Retrospective. And man, this is an episode if I have ever seen one.
Even aside from the obvious, this episode still blew my balls off. Wall-to-wall action. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I cannot wait to get into it.
And it's beautiful. Let's not forget how beautiful it portrays blood and gore and just everything.
Yeah, we could have used a warning at the beginning of this one.
It's
intense stuff.
All right. So you want me to start this off?
Let's kick it off.
Let's get right into it. We are left off with our beloved friends, Daz and Samuel, dying again.
As much time as we spent with these guys, it's still just hard. You know, it's a real dick punch to put them back in at the beginning of this episode.
Armin actually watches with his hand out as Daz drowns to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
And he's just staring down at him. Still got the hole in his cheek, too. We go from there. We instantly start fighting. Connie's looking down at, the bloody mess underneath him.
Yeah, because Connie just blew someone's brains out.
Yeah. I would have never thought that we would have said, hey, do you think later on in the show Connie's going to blow one of his comrades' brains out? No, I would have never thought that. Okay,
Connie, he was just getting started.
Connie Springer.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. Connie Springer is about to spring into action. But we instantly start off with Annie still just smashing these flock squawks. Okay?
Her hand-eye coordination is a top-notch. She must have absolutely crushed the Marley Baseball Little League. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Me and you, when we were in Little League, like third grade or something like that, we had a girl on the team. Yep. Annie's totally the type of girl to go and play on the boys' baseball team, even when the softball's happening on the field next door, and just absolutely star the team.
Jessie, I remember her name.
Bless you, Jessie.
Yep. She actually turned out to be a very attractive woman later on in life.
Yes, she did.
Good old Jessie.
Good for her.
So yeah, we get some of the best.
She played one hell of a left field.
She did. We get some of the best ODM action scenes of the season, though. I mean, some of this is just... It blew my mind. There's so much going on that I didn't even know what to say.
And they're all throughout the episode. It's not like you just get one. There's so many times that they go through it.
So yeah, it's really awesome seeing Annie and Reiner work together in a fight. Because we have never seen them transformed together side by side.
Yeah.
This entire show. It's crazy to think about that we've technically never seen them fight together. That's so
true.
Weird.
It's true to think about it that way. Maybe when we got that little at the beginning of this season.
Yeah.
That would be maybe they had a little bit of time together, but not much at all.
So we go down in the basement, back to where the nerds are.
Not the basement.
Yeah, well, not that basement, but one of the basements where this show likes basements. By the way,
they loves them.
Where we have the nerds of the group, or as I call them, the nerd mechanics, some of the Hizru people.
These guys still very much regretting wearing the suits today.
Yes, they are telling Hanji and Magath that it usually takes a whole day to service the boat to fly. Okay, so it's not looking good. When you hear something like that and you see explosions going on around you, that is not a good sign to hear. And
I did like the line, they were like, unless we get some of the correct equipment, we can cut it down to half a day, which is fun because they're basically saying, hey, over here, you guys have handheld screwdrivers.
Yep.
They got drills over there. It's going to make, putting some bolts into place much easier.
And they said possibly, too, so maybe half a day if we get the right stuff. So things are just not looking good. Okay?
No, they're not.
But Magath says there's no way we can hold off the enemy here for that long. He even talks about the Titans. He's like, the Titans are only going to be able to be in their forms for a few hours. He's like, obviously Peak can stay for a while, but he's like, if they're the only ones defending, like, we're screwed. He basically knows they're screwed. And then that's when Hanji speaks up.
Yeah, this is the part of the episode where Hanji answers every single question we've had about the rumbling for like the last 8 episodes.
She starts talking about how the rumbling is faster than a galloping horse, which is kind of terrifying, knowing how fast
pretty fast
they've bred these horses up here in Paradis.
I mean, it's just such long legs, it's hard to make up for it with just speed alone.
I would be putting all of my money on these horses if they were in this world. In races, I'd be gambling all my money away on these Paradis horses because they are so fast.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like what other sport or anything like that would they have on Paradis? They don't have like baseballs and stuff that I've seen.
Fastest ODM gearing?
Yeah.
I mean, what else?
Horse racing.
Yeah. Who can cut potatoes the fastest? I mean, what up?
As a matter of fact, while you're connecting some pieces for me, I will never forget Armin's dirty old grandfather. And you know what? I don't think they were living in the best of conditions because I think that guy was spending all of his earnings on gambling.
Yeah.
That guy was a just scumbag horse gambler.
Horse gambler, cockfights. You know he was into that.
Oh.
Dog fights. I'm sure they have some stray dogs
Yeah.
running around. They had a cat in one episode. Remember that?
I do think I remember that.
I think it was in like season 1. For some reason,
there
it was
a
like
cat?
Annie was running around and there was a cat just sitting there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hanji starts using her quick math and doing the beep bop, bop bop, and says that in half a day, the rumbling will have gone through about 600 kilometers past the coast.
What? 600 kilometers? All right, one sec. Siri, what is 600 kilometers in American language? You can translate into English. Okay, that didn't work.
That didn't work?
How am I going to
Okay, let me
ask
get
that?
one going. Siri, how many miles per hour is 600 kilometers?
Oh, I think that'll work. What'd she say?
Sorry, miles per hour and kilometers are not compatible. Well, this.
Oh. Okay. How many miles is 600 kilometers? That's what we got to do.
Okay.
That would be 372.82 miles.
Okay.
So, wow, 372.82 miles in half a day.
It's a 2-to-1 ratio. Why did they not just say that?
Half a day. Think about that. Think about half a day. You literally, you wake
I'm thinking
up,
about it.
Okay, you're thinking about it hard. Think about waking up, grabbing a Pop-Tart,
Yeah.
driving to work, eating the Pop-Tart, maybe a honey bun. I don't know what else you eat for breakfast.
Got to microwave it, though.
Yes, 12 seconds. Microwave it, eat it, that's basically half of a day.
Half of a day or a half a day?
That right there is
Are we
basically
talking
half.
12 hours or 6 hours?
Talking 12 hours. Right now, the method I just said
Oh,
is
you're
about
just
6
saying,
hours. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
You work a little while, sleeping was already half of the day. So now it's like basically there.
And I know what people are saying. If it only takes 12 seconds to warm up the honey bun, why is waking up, preparing a honey bun, and driving to work taking you 6 hours, Ronnie? Well, guys, I have a few honey buns.
Yes. God. So yeah, half a day.
12
That's enough.
seconds per. So half a day, I'm egg on my face. I'm pretty sure I was on the record of saying this was going to take like a month. No.
Yeah.
Just a few days.
But we get some help here, okay? We get some understanding a little bit later on of why it only take that long. But she then says, though, for them to take out the entire continent, okay, so we know Paradis is obviously the island. Mm-hmm. They cross the sea. They're on the continent. And I'm assuming that there's only one continent in this world. We can, I guess, just assume that from what maps and thing we've seen. But she says for them to take out all of that, it will take just 4 days, not even a week, to take out the continent outside of Paradis.
It's making quick work of it. I don't even understand. I thought we saw a map before. I mean, it took him an afternoon to get out of Paradis. And I thought with that map that I initially saw back a few episodes ago, that this was going to be a bigger operation. I guess I was just wrong.
It's
I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling
Yeah.
with what Hanji said. She knows it better than I do.
Maybe the single file line, he's going to have to gather them up. He's going to have to do a few things. That's why it took him longer.
Maybe they've got
Yeah.
he can up the speed a little bit.
Yeah.
They just got out of the wall. It took them a second to loosen up their legs. They had to stretch.
Yep.
Do not start going 100% if you're starting from zero.
And
That's how people get injured.
And you know what else they say? Not static stretches. They're moving while getting that stretching in.
Yeah.
So the walk, you slowly ramp
That's
it up.
so important. Yeah, because listen, if you go, okay, I'm going to stretch, I'm going to do the arm across my body, then you're not even going to, I mean, sure, that's good stretching. You're not using the muscles you're going to be using for the operation. Use them. Start off 30%, build your way up. We've said it once, we've said it a million times, stretching is so important. Also, do it after.
Yes. Okay, once they're done stomping the world, they need to stretch, okay? But yeah, her saying that though, by God, there is going to be so many people stomped out. This is a short operation. This is not a 20 or 30 dayer like we thought. Holy shit.
What are we going to be flying into is what I'm concerned about.
I am scared for our comrades, okay? She then says basically Liberio and Marley are done for.
All right.
No chance to save these people.
Unless they use the trampoline method we talked about.
Unless they do that, there's still a chance. Jean then thinks back with a flashback picture. Okay, they show a little flashback of him and Connie drinking booze, is what it looks like, with a Marleyan man.
You loved this.
I love this so much.
Not only, here's the thing, I'm not even sure, it's not necessarily a Marleyan man. I'm almost thinking it's one of the guys that invaded
the country.
because he's wearing a stupid fez, and I'm on fez watch.
You're right.
You can't slip a fez by Ronnie, and that's what he had on.
You're so right. Okay, so this is the theory's churning right here because
do the theories.
like we saw in the first episode of season 4, Jean was already infiltrated in a certain city, so we know that they've had access already. Okay,
And it's so fun that they've never downright said that.
I know that's how they do this in the show. You gotta like get your brain. You gotta beat bop.
They've never said it.
No. Well,
what are we waiting for?
That takes us back to Hanji in the flashbacks in like episode 10. She said something along the lines of, "We're creating a base on the continent," and then they never spoke about it again.
And it was a great call by you, Chadley, your professional TV watcher.
Yes.
Didn't get by you.
God, I knew they were.
You said, halt. Let me check you out here real quick. And then you could continue.
And you know what they need to do? They need to show us some of that.
Now, are you saying the theory? Because I've got the theory right now. What is he doing? Why is he talking to the Fez Man? Because the Fez Man was done dirty by Marley, so they're over there getting liquored up, saying, hey, by the way, I'm from an island far off. I'm one of the aliens that you don't like, but listen, we're not that bad. You got to help me when we come over in a flying boat. And at this point, this guy's wrecked. He doesn't even, he's down like Travis was the other night. He had 3 Trulies. He couldn't see straight.
Yeah.
So it was a bunch of mumbo jumbo to them, but Connie and Jean were trying to lay the groundwork.
And you know what that does, though? This is good writing here. If we get this, we've got to get this scene. This is gonna humanize those people. Mm-hmm. And then when they do get stomped out, it's gonna be a lot sadder, Ronnie.
When I see a flattened fez, at first I'm gonna be like, well, you deserved it. You were wearing a fez. But then I'm gonna be like, well, but Connie and Jean had some drinks with them, and I'm a little upset about that.
And you know what else this shows? Why they have more compassion for these outside people. And the Flock Squawk and his little crew, if they've never been over there, they don't care about a bunch of nameless faces. And
Nope.
So we better see this, Ronnie, okay? Magathan says, well, we don't even know Aaron's location. So by the time we find it,
and
multiple lands are
it's Magath's episode, so I hate to do this. Him saying this really kind of concerned me, disappointed me. There's people who could literally track a squirrel through the woods, and my guy Magath is concerned about finding which way thousands of colossal titans went. He's like, well, we don't know. How are we supposed to find them?
Well, he's got a good point, though. He's got semi-good point. Even though Dr. Gigi is approximately 7,000 times bigger than a colossal titan, they are going to be spread out. So what part of the herd is he going to be at? But he's so big, I feel like you could see him from far off.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna be in a flying boat.
Yeah. So you would think you would see.
You got some altitude on the situation as well.
Like, I understand the sea dilemma because I don't know if you knew this. I mean, I know it. I'm a beach goer, so I know this kind of thing. When you're on the beach,
but are you a sea goer?
Well, I'm more of an ocean goer, not a sea goer.
Yep. Gotcha.
But when you're on the beach and you're looking at the horizon where the water meets the sky, it's only about a mile or two that you can see that far away, which is pretty crazy to think
And with
about.
the way pollution is heading nowadays, people, it's becoming even less. It's becoming even less.
It's becoming less. And think about all the steam. There's a
lot of it.
It's going to be hard to see them, okay?
You're right. Fuck me, God.
Magathan tells the mechanics to get the boat ready in 15, not 30. They said it takes them about 30 with coal. They slice in the coal. But that's a classic time crunch. You talked about this time crunch, first part of the season with Peak. She made the Panzer unit. She timed him down from 15 to 10. Okay?
Yeah.
He's going from 30 to 15. He's cutting it in half.
Because this is even more important. And he's picking up the same vibe that I picked up. These Cupcake Hisarusians don't understand the gravity of the situation. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, loosen up the ties, dorks. Let's get to work here.
They're the typical engineers.
They're like, well, typically, we like to perform in a lab that's approximately 67 degrees because when we start drilling on the flying boat, it actually will increase the temperature. So we'd like to keep it a little cooler because we know it's going to get hotter.
And did you notice it shows them shoveling coal later, and it's like Anya Capone doing it?
But
they're the engineers that just tell you to do it. They've never actually done it themselves. They're the typical high-up guys that don't know how to do anything.
Well, come on. The country's called Hizaru. Tell me that doesn't sound... And I hate to say this. Tell me that does not sound like a country that would have slaves.
It does. It does.
Hizaru? Are you kidding me? You're telling me there's not a Hizarusian slave?
Mm-hmm.
No. Those guys with the ties. They're wearing ties.
They're wearing ties. You know that they don't.
You think
do
those
any
guys
hard
shoveled
labor.
coal?
Yeah, come on.
They're like, well, actually, we don't have the correct tools to get the job done in a timely manner. So,
And then we go straight into the OP, which just lets us know that the rumbling's coming. Okay, coming for you. And we go back, and there is just death, gore, fighting, everything going on. This entire episode. Okay, there's no break. There is really no break.
I mean, we're going to try and talk about all the moments as much as possible, but how could we? There's so many.
I know.
Someone needs to count. Mikasa,
We should.
she must have
the bodies.
killed 77 people.
Yes, and in the coolest ways possible.
It's a rough estimate, but I think she killed 77 people. 33 of them twice. She killed them twice.
Yeah. Mikasa, we get Mikasa flying up on Annie's shoulder, telling her the plan. Okay, that they're getting on the boat. They got to go service it somewhere else. And Magath and the Hizarunians, they're fleeing to the boat. And these guys, they are just abysmal at running. Like we said, they have not done any hard labor. Nothing.
Terrible.
They're in a suit and tie, for God's sake. They can't run.
Yeah, they don't strike me as a couple of guys who go gear up for a jog.
You're in dress shoes. Like, what? God, man. Makes me so angry. Flock then tells his squawk to kill the mechanics. He sees them going. And then that's when Hanji comes flying in with Mikasa. They start slaying some of these Jaegerists like cheese. Okay, they are just slicing through them like one of those American square burger slices of cheese.
That's exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. And Flock just has such a thick plot armor on. It's just like the moment when Jean pushed him out of the way of the cart titan's mouth. Hanji slices through two guys like hot butter, and then she just like zips away when she sees Flock.
Well, he's the king of Eldia right
Flock
now.
looks
What can you do?
horrified. He was almost going to stab himself, and then she just zipped away. I was like, all right, that's fine. His time's coming.
I just thought of this, man. We haven't seen Historia in a long time.
Who?
Historia?
Wait, who? Who are you saying?
Historia?
Are you? Well, that's the Krista girl.
Yeah. That is the lady that is just sitting on a rocker with her belly bloated.
I feel like I've seen Krista more recently than I've seen
Yeah.
Historia.
I wonder if she's birthed out that thing. She popped it out, you think?
I feel, well,
Boy or girl? What are you saying?
it's got to be a boy. I mean, it's such a sexist culture that we live in, you know, and it's going to be, I mean, I hope it's a queen. I hope it's a queen.
Yeah, I know. Same.
Our princess, because right now, Historia's not dead yet, but
You know why I was thinking
these
that?
times, you know, giving birth, it's dangerous, so I hope we keep an eye on her.
Flock is essentially the king of Eldia right now.
Well, all right.
Well, I mean, he is.
He
is.
he's kind of
Will
like...
you admit it that he is?
No, I wouldn't say he's a king. He's kind of like the he's the VP, if anything. It is.
Well, do you think he got her
The
pregnant?
king is a way to play. He's stepping in.
I could see him, if he wins this battle, he's going back to Historia, and they're going to live happily ever after.
Yeah.
King and queen.
Right. I do like to think of this the little scene that we didn't get to see, where he refers to himself as a king, and like a couple guys off to the side kind of like give each other side eyes, like he's not the fucking king. What's he
Yeah.
talking about?
But he does look down at the boat, and he realizes their plan. Okay, they're not smart enough for
Yeah,
the
he's
flockery.
playing chess. I will say it. He's playing chess.
I will give him this, man. He's one of those guys where you're like, oh, he is a coward. You know, he's fighting for he's going up against all of them still, though. How crazy is it? He's willing to die. As delusional as this guy is, he is willing to die.
When Aaron kissed him,
Well,
He
we don't
felt-
know yet. We don't know yet. I
oh,
think
you're
it's-
right. Sorry, we just talked about that, and I thought it actually happened. When I think that Aaron kissed him, he felt such sparks that it gave him such purpose, like anything you've ever seen.
And it was just a cheek if it happened. He's saving the rest for later.
It was a cheek. I will say it was a cheek, but it was the kind of cheek. It was like this close, and everyone knows how close my fingers are together. This close to the corner of the lip.
Yep.
Just enough to get you excited.
I've had that multiple times. Never got excited, but just enough to get me almost
Just
there.
enough. It's almost better than actually them catching the corner.
Yeah. So they start shooting at the mechanics, okay? And Reiner steps in to block the shots. And he blocks them from hitting Magath and the mechanics. Reiner, he is the shield of this team, okay? He's always going to block the shots. He's always going to take the hits. That's just what he does. And it is kind of epic that how many times he's done this. Think about it. He blocked.
Oh, I'm thinking.
He blocked Zeke with those warships.
Oh, you're really going to name all of
Oh,
them.
I'm naming them.
All right,
now.
name. Go for it.
He blocked Zeke with those warships.
Mm-hmm. He did.
He saved when the walls were tumbling down. He stepped in front of Gabby, saved her.
He did that as well.
He's doing it right now. He's
doing it right now.
He stepped in front of when Aaron had Porco. Stepped in front, grabbed Porco, took a right hand, a slugging to the jaw. Okay, he just took another hit.
You're right. I'm thinking back to all this. You're right. He did do that.
I mean,
It's almost like
guy.
they do call him Marleyan's armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else happened?
Huh.
More happened.
You'll get another moment here in a second because spoiler alert, he keeps doing it.
But yeah, while he blocks them though with his arm, he takes a few Thunder Spears to the back, close to the nape. Okay.
And at first they fired one Thunder Spear into his nape, and I was like, oh, it is going to take a lot more than that for me to get worried. I watched that guy get bombarded with 6 Thunder Spears at the same time, and his head literally got blown off, and he was still okay.
Yeah. Well, he's the shield.
I'll say that again. He was still okay. Does everyone remember that? When Reiner didn't have a head, but he was like, oh, I put my consciousness down into my pinky toe, and I'm all right.
Yeah, whatever happened with that?
And then his head grew back, and he looked like handsome Squidward.
Yeah.
SpongeBob Chronicles coming soon.
Well, then Annie pops in. She does the same thing. She sticks her arm out, blocks some more Thunder Spears, and they blow her entire arm off.
Right.
Completely off. And then we get a shot of Annie inside of her Titan. Think about that. We've never gotten those.
Has that never happened?
Her point of view inside the Titan, she's always been the enemy in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
They never showed her point of view inside of there. I thought that was really cool.
I love that. I love that if that's the case. That's the kind of thing that you're so good at keeping up with.
Thank you.
I couldn't say either way, but if you're telling me, I believe you.
I'm a professional show watcher. That's why we have this podcast.
I know you are, baby.
Somebody messaged me the other day and said that. They're like, why are you the professional of the group? I was like, wow, I've never heard that, but thanks for saying it.
Thanks for saying it, Ben. It's like you hate that Ronnie guy or something. Jeez.
But yeah, Annie's not used to fighting these Thunder Spears too, is what I've realized. She's never gone up against them, so they blow her arm off. When they have swords and stuff, they have no chance against her, but now they've leveled up. But yeah, more Thunder Spears come flying into Annie when then Reiner jumps in front of her again and takes like 6 Thunder Spears to the face. Straight to the noggin.
And that was when I started to get a little bit worried.
Yes.
Because I was kind of like, well, he survived 6, but that is kind of his limit. I don't know how much more he can push past 6.
Also, he jumped in front of Falco to stop Falco from dying from Aaron's transformation.
Nice.
Yep.
He did do that.
God, he is just taking a beating. That's why he looks like shit all the time. Flock then tells his crew to bring all the Thunder Spears to sink the ship because he's caught on to them trying to stop his beloved Dr. Gigi. And it's funny you said that kiss earlier because I put right here, he still hasn't gotten that full kiss yet. He tells them that they have to stop them or their whole family will drown in a sea of blood from revenge that the entire world will take on them if Aaron is stopped. And that is true. I mean, here's the thing about Flock. Obviously, I'm with our crew. I want him to win. I want him to, save some people, yada, yada. But he's kind of right. If they stop him instantly and the whole world has all their military, they're just going to come and destroy everything. So there's no win-win in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I hate Flock. I've never said a good thing about him. But I will say he's thinking pretty clearly given his situation. Like, he's not doing as bad of a job leading as I thought he might have.
And then that's when he lets out a Shinzo Sasageo.
And that's when I puked.
Yeah. I mean, he really does care about Eldia, but come on, man. You are not Erwin, and you never will be.
I puked.
God. Every time I start to like this guy, he just does something he tries to be like Erwin, and I'm like, nah, bro. No one will be like Erwin.
I used to like him, but not anymore.
And then that's when we get the female Titan music start to play from season 1.
Yeah.
And I got so hyped up.
You did.
We haven't heard this since The Forest. Oh my God. I jumped out of my chair.
And how does it sound? Do it. Nice.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called the female Titan music from
Oh,
season
you don't
1.
know?
I don't know what
You're the
it's
king
called.
of OSTs. Fuck,
It's the
dude.
female Titans OST.
Do you realize how much I would have bet that you knew the name of that?
I know. I don't know the full name of it, but I just refer to it as the female Titans theme.
And that's fine,
That's her
but
theme
also
song.
fix it.
But yeah, it starts playing, and we get our other little crew. This is I call them the Crippled Crew. We've got
Good name. I like that.
Anya Capone, Yelena, Gabby, Falco, Hecho, who is just, we get like half of his head in the frame. He's just laying there, I think, still.
You were like, where's Levi? And we were right around here, and you paused. And I was like, dude, I don't know. And then you went, oh, there he is. And we looked, and you could see just bandages in between two people on top of Peak.
So funny. And they're just riding on the back of Peak.
That poor guy has taken a back seat this half season.
He has. I mean, I do like that they weren't just like, oh yeah, he gets blown up, his fingers come off, half of his face is basically torn off his skin, and then he just starts fighting and killing everyone anyways. I do like how they're making him like, kind of get back into the groove before he starts, because he eventually he's got to start slaying people, right?
Well, first of all, this probably doesn't work because I like to, I'm respecting Levi's voice actor. I'm sure he read the manga and all that stuff, so he kind of knew it was coming. But let's say in a world that he doesn't, he's like, all right, season 4, rolling up. Erwin's dead. This is my... I'm going to win I'm going to win an American Oscar for this Japanese TV show. And then he gets the script, he's like, I have 5 lines? He's like, I have 5 lines? What are you talking about?
He's gonna win an Annie, what do they call those? An Annie Award, an Anime Award.
I don't know. I'm telling you, he was
call
hyped.
it?
He was like, I'm literally getting an Oscar for this Japanese TV show.
They're all looking over at Annie and Reiner though, as they get absolutely eviscerated. They start getting bombarded with thunder spears. Falco can't take it, and he says, you know what? I got to use the jaw. He's like, I can't. Reiner saved me earlier. I got to do something. And that's when Peak steps in and says, no, that's a bad idea. The first transformation never goes well unless you're Bert. Because for some reason, Bert could control the colossal Titan on his first try.
And I'll tell you what Falco does. He implements the classic boys rule, girls drool strategy. Because Peak's like, stop, don't do it right now. And Falco's like, yeah, but what would Galliard have done? I'll tell you, he would have let his emotions get the best of him and rush into it without thinking about the consequences.
Yep. And Peak says, I'll join the fight after we get you to the boat. And that's when he runs off. Falco's like, no. That could also be Porco's little memories influencing him there.
Maybe so.
We then go to Connie, who's carrying Armin, who still has a bullet through his cheek and multiple wounds to his stomach. But they make Armin look so hot. Have you noticed that? Even though
because he's steaming.
He's steaming and he looks hot. He looks better than ever before.
Because when you get heat, you get steam.
Yeah. And they take him. He takes him to Theo, and that's when Theo's like, "Oh, he'll be fine. He's gonna regenerate soon. A couple bullets, nothing." And Connie's like, "Well, you take him. I'm gonna go guard the ship," and just starts flying off. I was like, "Wow, Connie, he's really stepped up here."
He's like, "Listen, I know you are the greatest marksman in your entire country, but you deal with this. I'm gonna go handle that."
Yeah. So he flies off and he just starts slaying people.
And by God, he does. He goes and handles it. What the fuck? Where's my Connie Springer? I'm the biggest critic of this guy, but holy shit, he was awesome.
I like what they've done with him the past couple episodes.
He's
really turned the corner.
He's grown, yep. He's coming around.
It's like you said, he was the one character out of the group that they hadn't really done much with. But these last couple episodes, he's
coming around the mountain. Here he comes.
He just put 3 bullets into the brains.
I see you, Connie. I'll put some respect in your name. You won me over, all right? This was badass.
And also, that's when Peak swims up. She's got the Crippled Crew with her. And she tells Magath that Falco had run off.
How do you think that she was underwater and the rest just looked like they were like floating on water? Or did they go under? they would still look pretty dry, right?
That is true. She might have put them in her mouth at that point. I don't know. They didn't show it, but
They put them in her mouth, and then when she got back to like above water, she did this cool move where she kind of like flipped him out with her tongue, and then caught him on her head.
yeah. I wonder too if she has like she's carried so many people in her mouth. If she has like a favorite, she's like, oh, they taste the best. I think they shower the most.
You think in her mouth there's like little drawings and stuff where people have like hung out in there for a little while and kind of made a little doodle?
Oh, I guarantee you there is.
Who is the most like someone? Let's say she tries to swallow you one time, or you just hang out and you're like looking in there, and it just says, "Yelena was here."
I bet she'd taste the worst, don't you think?
Yes.
Just a sweaty mammoth of a lady. But what I like about Magath here, though, is he shows so much concern that Falco ran off. He knows the first transformation, probably not going to go well. He's got to go take care of his child, okay? His little child warrior. And what's awesome about him, too, we've had to rewatch, obviously, Season 4 with Trav and stuff. In the first episode, you see that he actually does care about him. He's got that slight, caring attitude towards him. But when the other Marlians are around him, he like amps up the, oh, you devil bloods, and really turns it on, but it's not what he's actually thinking. Mm-hmm. And this guy, boy, oh boy, does he just leave a mark on us.
He does.
In our hearts.
On my heart. Not in it, on it, around it.
Oh my God. Cannot wait
Through
to talk
it.
about that.
Stop it. You're getting ahead of yourself. I'm not ready
sorry,
to get
sorry.
there. I'm not
I'm
ready.
sorry.
Let's keep it lighthearted when we can
right.
keep it lighthearted. Fucking stop it. Chat, look at me. Stop.
I'm done. Okay. We then get a look up at the train tracks. We got a locomotive rolling in, okay? It's reinforcements. Coming in hot.
And at this point, I'm looking inside the train. You know what I'm thinking? When did Flock grow such a large squawk?
I know.
Where the hell did these guys come from?
I like to think that they're reserves. Somehow, for some reason, they have reserves, even though it's the end of the world
Yeah.
and they need all hands on deck.
When did all these people sign up?
They start coming in, and that's when, boom! They are all blown to smithereens.
And this is so stupid. I was so caught up in the episode. I watched it. I was there. I was sitting right there. I was watching it. Didn't think a single thing of it. I was like, all right, well, that exploded. What's next? How about you?
No, I thought instantly, who the fuck did that?
Not me. I saw it explode and went, but that'll happen. Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes that happens. Yeah. It wasn't built well enough. You just think, oh, yeah, that happens to trains sometimes.
Thank you, Founder Ymir, from above. Count
Yeah.
your blessings. What's next? What's Falco doing?
I thought for a second, I was like, because we never saw Heicho the first time, I was
Right.
like, oh my God, maybe he stayed behind. He did something.
Yeah, no,
But no.
I'm not even kidding. Later, when we got to the moment when obviously we find out who did it, I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about the whole train exploding.
Yeah. And that's when Flock just starts panicking. Okay, he's panicking hard. So hard. Jean then comes swooping into an alley where we have a Falco absolutely not worried about tetanus as he's stabbing himself in the hand with a rusty nail.
Yeah, it's like a rusty nail. This is where you gotta be, young people are so impressionable. You gotta, be careful about what they watch. How many times does Falco watch someone just stab themselves and tighten up? There's more to it than that. Example, you have a cousin. He might be on the pod eventually. We want him to come down and hang out. He's a senior in high school.
Yep.
You were telling me the story how recently he admitted to you that he started to experiment with drugs, and you were like, oh, you weren't judgmental. That's why he can come to you with this stuff. You're like, oh, what kind of strain of weed did you do? He went, no.
What weeds was it?
He went, no, fentanyl. And you went, what? Dude, why? And he went, I was just watching Euphoria. That's what they were doing.
He's like, that's the high school experience,
He's
right?
like, that's what you do.
And that's exactly what Falco's doing,
Right.
except with a rusty nail.
He's just
He wasn't
found an
thinking.
alley, found a rusty nail. He's like, oh, anything will work. Let me just start stabbing myself with it.
Yeah, he didn't bite his hand, okay? He knows the saliva that can cause an infection if you do that to your hand. You don't want to get some of the blood in your mouth. Yeah.
When in doubt, use a rusty nail.
Jean then tells him to get on the ship. He's like, what the hell are you doing, kid? And then that's when we see Annie and Reiner. We get a good look at them, and Annie's entire head falls off of her body as Reiner's face, I mean, his head is basically gone at this point. It's just a mush. It's
and
a
I was
mush.
getting worried.
Very worried.
Well, at first I was like, oh no, is Reiner gonna, give himself up one final time to save Annie? And then she started getting beaten to a pulp, and I was like, oh god. I was concerned.
The two best Titan fighters that we got right now are just getting whopped. These Thunder Spears, they're crazy, bro.
And they've got so many of them. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, that's another thing I didn't even think about. If our comrades here, if they were to get to Dr. Genocidal Galapagos, would they even have Thunder Spears left to throw them at
They're
him?
burning through them.
Then we get Connie, though, sweeping in again. Going ape shit again, okay? He gets a few more kills.
Okay, so I don't know which time it was when he
The first time is where he just goes ballistic.
Okay.
This time, he just comes in and gets a couple kills.
Okay, yeah, because the first time, I'm not even kidding, I thought I was watching like a YouTube edit of someone putting like some badass music behind it, and it was just him going hard.
Top 5 plays is what it looked like. Yeah. What's crazy about Connie, when you really think about it, these people have been through so much and so much fighting. Our guys are way better at this ODM stuff than these stupid flockcock squawks.
Oh.
So much better. They've just got all the explosives. We don't really have the explosives.
Which is going to make a line later so delicious. Stay tuned.
Yeah, he sweeps in, though, gets a couple kills. Mikas then yells for Connie because he starts getting in a little trouble, and that's when she gets on one of the rooftops and just slaughters about 7 or 8 on a roof. I mean, just with ease. With ease.
And we can't, I thought it was wrong for them to just act like Connie does this. Mikasa we should have seen like a moment where she was watching him, and even she goes, like, what the fuck?
So, holy
She
shit.
sees him do a move and go, oh, all right, Connie, let's do this.
Connie Springer. Just think, this is the same old Connie that got picked up by his head in
Right.
episode 3.
Just
It's
the
awesome.
all throughout the series, she never trusted him, and then she sees him do that, and she's like, oh, okay, you take those 2, I'm going to take these 7.
Yeah. Yeah, she even decapitates one of the people. She's going crazy.
Right here or
Right
later?
here. Right
Are you
here.
getting ahead of yourself?
No, right here she
All right,
decapitates one of them.
spoiler alert, she's going to do it again.
She does she does some of the best shit. The craziest, goriest like scenes I think we've seen in the entire show. Even I would say this is better than Levi's scene against Kenny's troops.
All right.
I really would. I think she does some cooler stuff. Jean also, she gets in a little trouble, and we got somebody hesitating on the ground about to shoot her, and that's when Jean just domes this bitch. Okay? Right in the skull.
He's grown. Right in front of our eyes.
I think this is pretty cool, too. Jean he's not flying around like slaying people with a sword. He's just straight up shooting them. He's got a rifle in hand. I thought that was pretty cool.
Remember, we've discussed who's going to become the next shooter after Sasha. Jean saying, hey,
Yep.
check me out.
You called that, by the way. I think you called that.
Did I say Jean? Wouldn't surprise me. I'm a pretty good fucking podcaster.
You might have said Connie, but I think you said Jean.
Subscribe and like.
Give us those 5-star ratings on Spotify, please.
Apparently that's a thing.
I saw.
Spotify, you can rate now. Go do it. Come on.
Come on, we need it.
Love ya.
Then that's when we get them both realizing, through all this chaos, they both realize if they hesitate, they won't be able to stop the rumbling, and multiple innocent people will die. And Mikas has got blood all over her face and eyes, and she just throws it off.
And how thick does something have to be able to just throw it off like that?
Oh my God. I like to think it's like blood from the digestive system, the bowels.
Yeah,
She just
I don't like to
somebody.
think that because that's pretty gross, but sure, if that's what you want to think, that's fine.
I mean,
it's your notes. But,
just a sea of blood.
but ewy. Gross.
And then that's when I hand it off to you,
Thanks,
Ronnie.
dog. So, Peak, she's joined the fight. It was like she went into a building to make a sneak attack because she comes from underneath the roof. Well, I don't know. I don't know if she went through like a garage door.
I don't know.
Something was going on. She came underneath the roof.
That is true. I would like to think
Yeah.
in Marley, when they had her, when she would stay months in at a time in her Titan, they would just put her in a garage, have her chill out for a while.
love that,
Take
yeah.
her, sleep.
It just makes so much sense. Why would you not?
I guess she sleeps. Do you think she sleeps in that Titan form? I guess she does.
I mean, she definitely has before.
Think about it. In the forest, a couple episodes ago, she stayed in that Titan the whole
Sure
time.
did. mean, remember when she had to relearn how to walk because she had been the cart titan for like months?
Mm-hmm.
She's taking some snoozes in there.
And she is looking cheeky here.
So Flock, he's emotional, gathers up the boys, says, cut down these traitors using our ODM gear. But we have ODM gear too. What is like, that's what?
I don't know what he's thinking, man.
Chad, why did he say that though?
Dude, he's under pressure, Ronnie.
And I would say he's talking about the Titans, which would make sense, but he says the traitors. The Titans that they're fighting were never...
I mean, I guess it's just... I mean, if you think about it, okay? You're going to get mad at me for saying this.
Logistically, he's okay. Just not good at giving a speech, I feel like. Just not that good at it.
Like I said, he's under pressure. He's a young guy.
Right.
Okay? He hasn't been through a lot of experiences to where he has led. This is his first time. So he's on a little bit of a power trip. Doesn't know what to say. But like I said, he is right. When he calls them traitors, they are technically going against their home island, okay? It's a weird situation, but they're definitely betraying their island because if they do stop Dr. Genocidal Galapagos, everyone on their island will die.
Yeah.
So he's not wrong.
Yeah, but what is the definition of traitor?
Well, think about it. Traitor...
Because traitor has a negative connotation for sure, but does it, by definition, does it? You know what I mean?
Traitor is somebody that is on your side. Flock has always been on their side. He was part of the Scouts.
And what a world we live in. I Googled traitor, and a single by Olivia Rodrigo pops up. What a new star we've got on our hands. Look out for her. She is just going to be...
People need to read some books.
So right here, yeah, a person who betrays a friend, country, principle.
They're betraying their home country. Paradis.
I mean, yeah, by definition, I feel like traitor, it's got a negative connotation. What they're doing is not negative, you know? It's just because you're going against something.
Is what he's doing negative, if you think about it? If all of his people are about to die, so he decides to kill the people that are trying to kill him? I mean, I guess there is no negative.
No, what he's doing is negative.
What they're doing is negative, though. If they stop him, then all their people die.
No, but they don't. But they don't. That's why we got to have a little chit-chat about it.
I think the chit-chatting is over. It's all... There's got to be blood. That's why there's so much blood in this episode. They're killing these people. Think about it. They're killing people right now.
Right, because they're firing explosives at them. Let's have a talk. Don't give me this look like, well, technically, no.
Okay.
What they're doing is not good, Chaz. Let's have a chit-chat. Can I get you to agree on that? Can we have a chit-chat?
We'll have a chit-chat. Let's have a chit-chat.
Before we go to such large extremes, quit giving me this, your look. This is the look that he's giving me, everyone. It's a look that says, let's just have a chit-chat.
Okay, let's have a chit-chat.
God, what do you think about Olivia Rodrigo?
I think that she's done a lot for this country. She's not a traitor.
All right. He's got nothing, but she's got a single. Traitor. Stream it. Where are my notes here?
God, did we really just give her... She better give us some of that cut from that.
I mean, she's just such a bright young talent. I have no problem shouting her out. Where was I in my notes?
I think you're at the part where Flock calls them traitors.
They have so many Thunder Spears, it's silly. All right? It's a gory mess out here. And when you think about the number differences, the fact that they haven't been able to take down a single person from our team is hilarious.
Oh, it is.
It's hilarious.
Now they have disabled the female and armor Titan, but that's about all they've done so far.
They're useless. Think about it. We've got 4 people zipping around and 2 Titans.
Now one of them is an Ackerman. You got to remember that. But you have Connie.
Do you see how many explosives they have? Quit defending the Flock Squawk. There's like 90 of them. They have explosives strapped to them back, and they have not taken down a single person.
You're right. You're so right. Now, they took out a few of those mechanics earlier on.
Spoiler alert, 2 hours... 2 hours from now, we're going to be on a boat, and everyone is going to be completely fine. Reiner looks like he just got out of the shower 2 hours from now, all right? They are useless. And but here comes Falco. He's starting to transform. And is there a better suspenseful feeling than waiting to see what a new Titan is going to look like?
I know.
Isn't that so exciting?
I know, and it shows. They did this with Ymir's Titan in season 2, where she transforms and then it instantly goes to a calling card.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome too. And he has red eyes.
And what a disappointment that was,
I
you know,
know.
when they would
Thank,
reveal.
thank God he doesn't look like that Titan. But he has, hey, Ronnie, did you hear me? He has red eyes. How cool is that?
It's very cool. And they do the same thing here. We go into a calling card before we really get a good look at them.
What does the calling card say?
And it's very poetic. First of all, what I'm going to say, I think they took some inspiration from you, Chad. All right? I love this type of... We've been doing calling cards for so long now that tell us nothing. It's just going over retreaded information. And at a certain point in the show, you're going to get that. This is like a new feeling type of calling card. Enemies and allies. When Titans were the greatest threat, Titans were the enemy. When countries were the greatest threat, countries were the enemy. For as long as people hold firm to different beliefs, there will always be an enemy. And then it says right here, Ronnie of the Podcast Chronicles suggests a chit-chat.
A chit-chat, yep. And speaking of chit-chat, I will pay homage to 2 of the greatest soldiers that have ever been in the Survey Corps and the Garrison Regiment. Pixis and Irwin had a talk in season 3 along the lines of, I don't remember which one said it, but they said, when will the fighting stop? And I think maybe Pixis, maybe Irwin, but they say, when there is 1 or fewer humans left.
It's so true. It's so true. So they couldn't fight, or they couldn't stop the fighting, but guess what they did? They had a chit-chat, and they got to a solution.
And now they both have passed, but...
They have, yeah. So Falco, he, well... Travis referred to him as the Foghorn Leghorn Titan. He's not wrong.
I thought you said the Chicken Titan.
Well, that would be a very basic way to say it. Travis put a little pizzazz on him, which was why we love him. He said the Foghorn Leghorn Titan.
He has 2 mouths.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have 2 mouths. Don't be silly.
He does.
He doesn't have 2 mouths. What do you know what a 2-mouth system would entail?
Yeah, he's got 2
No.
mouths.
He does not have 2 mouths, Chaz.
Okay, then how many mouths does he have?
He has a 1 mouth with some sort of like built-on skull thing that's connected to the same mouth. I don't think until I see him move the 2 mouths separately, he's got 1 mouth.
Here's the thing,
Because I
Ronnie.
believe
He
the
already
Jaw
did it.
Titan skull. No, he did.
Yes,
not.
he did.
What did he do?
Okay, when he opened his jaw mouth, his as Porco, you know how Porco had that like steel mouth. That mouth was open.
And are you saying that he had 2 mouths or 1 mouth?
Porco only had 1. That's what I'm trying to get to here. Will you let's have a chit chat. How about you don't give me that look?
Oh, we're gonna have a chit chat, but I want to understand where you're coming from.
And I'm getting there.
Were you going to specify if he had 1 or 2 mouths? Talking about Porco, you were.
Porco has 1 mouth.
Because I asked, you specified you weren't going to.
And now I'm specifying why Falco
So
has 2.
don't come criticizing me about my, questioning so I can understand our chit chat.
Okay.
Because if you didn't answer that, I was going to be confused the rest of the time. Now, please continue.
Okay, as you see, Falco has his steel mouth open.
We'll call it a beak because it's a beak.
His beak mouth open, and inside of his beak mouth, you see that he has a mouth under there.
Yeah.
Okay? And the reason that I know that he has 2 mouths is because a little bit later in this episode, what he does. Now, do I want to say it now, or do you want to wait till then?
Well, we're having a chit chat, and that's fine if we want to get a little ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Tell me how he uses his second mouth.
When he bites Miss Peak Finger, Miss Peak Phalange, as some people call her, he does it with the steel mouth. Pretty cool, huh?
But yeah, I mean, the steel is a very good weapon, but I don't think that you can argue that he wasn't using the second mouth.
The second mouth's the steel mouth. The first mouth is his normal Titan mouth.
Now, we're getting really caught up in definitions. Is the mouth, would the definition of the mouth not be the gateway to the esophagus?
Well, here's the thing. When you have 2 mouths, one
What
mouth...
I would argue is almost that he just has a second jaw.
But he bites down with the mouth.
The jaw.
But the mouth... But if you
mouth doesn't bite down. It's a jaw that bites down. Don't be silly.
Here's the thing, though. And this all depends.
And I'm warning you, don't be foolish. Don't be foolish.
You could have a 2-face mouth
Yeah.
where you have mouths side by side.
And I hate two-faced people.
where you have mouths side by side, or you can have a mouth that leads directly into another mouth.
No. See, that's where you're wrong. That's why I think we got a 2-jaw system. If you have a person, which you've made it seem like there's a bunch of them walking around, when you've got a person that's got a 2-mouth system, that entails that they have 2 different entry points. What we're dealing with here is 1 entry point, but 2 jaws.
So which mouth is his mouth if you're going with 1 mouth?
Oh, the mouth is his actual mouth, where it's
Okay.
like leads straight to the...
Well, we're just going to have to agree to disagree here.
And that's fine. It's sometimes with a chit chat, that's what you get.
Yep.
You agree to disagree. But I feel like we're better now that because we know where we both stand. And now when you say something cockamamie thing like he eats him with his second mouth, I'll just laugh at you and say, well, it's a jaw. He's got 1 mouth. And let's keep going. What do you think of his look?
Dude, I actually think it looks dope.
I know. I think it's going to get memed on pretty hard, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
His claws, he's got the upgrade on like the claws too.
And here's the thing about
talons.
the
Or are
steel
they
jaw.
talons?
To me, they're talons for sure.
Yeah.
I actually have talons in my notes. Good
Okay.
call. It looks like a mask that he could take off. Like when he walks up, when he gets control of the jaw titan, I would not be surprised when he walks up and just grabs his little mask, second jaw with his talons and just takes it off. And then we just see his face.
Okay. So that's where you're getting the 1 mouth thing. I see.
Well, it's not where I'm getting it, but it's just what it looks like. And like I said right here, his claws straight up look like rooster claws outside of the very sharp talons. The finger phalanges,
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever seen a bird's phalanges. Very much like what he's got going on here.
Oh, I've seen a bird's phalanges.
All
They
right.
call me the philanthropist.
And his hair, long. Love the hair.
What I like about this, I think this is paying homage to Colt. He looks like a beast as well. And Colt was supposed to be the beast. He's got like a little...
He's very furry.
He is. He's got
Only
like a little
the
beast
beast
in
can
him.
compete with the fur on this bad boy. And I'm going to say it right here, the most beautiful teeth of any Titan.
He does.
Oh my god, stunning.
I think it's
They're
because
stunning.
he's a well-kept boy.
And this is why I think the founder Ymir saw the error in her ways. You look at Porco. Well, first of all, you look at Ymir. Yikes. Her jaw? Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
We already know the founder Ymir did not like that bitch, so she did that.
Because she
But-
took her name. That's why.
Next step, she made Porco's Titan. His teeth were very jaw-like or whatever, and I'm sure he didn't like that. So now what she did, she made a second jaw, not a second mouth, a second jaw, and that's where the jaw really lives. And inside, she let Falco just have a beautiful, packed full mouth of pearly whites.
And he deserves it because he's a good boy. He's a good kid.
So I like what they did with him. She did him up right. So then the others used this distraction to slice down another large part of the squawk.
The squawk breaks formation. They fucked
do.
up.
And how could you not? We see Falco again. He definitely looks to be on the smaller side of Titans. He's kind of on that roof, not real big.
He's
at
like
all.
probably about Porco size or something.
I think smaller even.
Really? I didn't see that, but
Because here's the thing about Porco. Porco was always 4-legged. He was a what are they, quadrupeds? Mm-hmm. That's got to be right.
yeah.
So I think, this way, when he's flattened like that, if he ever stood up, I think he would actually be pretty tall. Falco right here, he's kind of standing up.
Quadrupeds or is it quadriplegic?
Well, quadriplegic, I think, is when you can't use any of your limbs.
Oh, he's definitely using them here, so it's definitely
Yeah, I
not
think
that.
like paraplegic.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
when you
that's
can't use 2 of them.
See, I almost said like what is it? What do you call those that come out of that parachute down? Those aren't paraplegics?
No, you talking about skydivers when they parachute?
Yeah.
Parachutists? They are not.
Parachutist? Okay. Yeah, I'm
They're
way off
not.
here.
They're not paraplegics. I do not think they suggest that paraplegics parachute.
Okay.
Just doesn't seem like a good idea. Now, hey, that's the kind of mentality that I hope paraplegics listen to and say, "Hey, fuck you, Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like you. I'm going to do whatever I set my heart on." Yeah. And for that, I'll say, "Congratulations. Love to have you on the pod." What are we talking about? What? He's a quad. No. He's standing up, and he looks kind of small. So then, Flock tries to put an end to this whole thing. He jumps into action, chased by Hanji. Incredible action shot.
Yes,
he
this is
stops the
insane.
sword. We
He
have
stops the
blades
sword.
clashing. There were some blades clashing. Flock tries to put it in by blowing all this up. The ship, the flying boat. I don't know what he's trying to blow
He
up.
shoots one of the Thunder Spears at peak, then dodges her mouth. I mean, this is such an epic sequence.
Yeah, it was like a one-shot sort of
Yeah.
ordeal. He says he's got to put a hole in this hull,
Yep.
which I liked. I said, I see a Flock. I see it. I don't know what the hull is. I don't know if that's the boat itself or the flying boat.
And that's what Ymir was thinking when she was building Falco. She's
Mm-hmm.
like, I got to put a mouth in this mouth.
Because when he said it, I thought he was talking about the boat itself, which seemed foolish. He should know that the flying boat is the bigger deal. I think you got to try and take that out. Mm-hmm. Now, what Flock decides to do is he has a really cool line. It's one of his coolest lines. He says, "The one who will save Eldia is me."
And dude, this is where I come around to Flock. I've never been a big fan of him, but this is where I really turn the corner with him.
Yeah.
He's trying to save his homeland. It's awesome. This is what I would do. I would hate to be the bad guy, because he is the bad guy.
Right.
He's 100% the bad guy. But I would want to protect the people on the island.
All right, good for you. I would like to think that the same two guys that were in the room when they heard Flock call himself the king were also standing below him right here when he said, "The one to save LD is me." And they once again side-eyed each other, and they were like, Aaron is leading an army of 17 trillion colossal titans. Why does this guy think blowing up a boat he's the one saving Eldia?
Yeah.
I would argue the other guy has a bigger part to play.
What would have made it even better if Flock was like, I talked to Aaron 10 months ago. He just mentions it again. He's like, and the one who's going to save Eldia is me.
So then he proceeds to shoot his thunder spear about 20 yards away from anything that should be considered his target.
And gets shot right in the shoulder.
Yeah, he gets shot right in the shoulder. He shot just water.
Water, but the thing is,
It's very bloody.
he shot it right where Daz drowned
Right.
and blows up Dad's body.
He blows up Dad's body.
Dad's body.
That's shit. He's got daddy issues. Sometimes
He
that
does.
sort of thing happens.
And then blood just splatters in the water.
Yeah, Daz had a lot of blood in him. Splatters all over the place. It's very red. It's definitely not any of the other people that Annie and Reiner were taking out. It was Daz alone.
But how about Gabby though? She's got the shot of the century. She is definitely phase Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
That's out there.
She is. Speaking of water, if you hear some running through the pipes right now, Chad's
Yeah.
mom loves water.
She does. She's a big fan of it. She drinks a lot of it. She swims in a lot of it. And she probably shouldn't be doing that. But the thing about what I was going to say about Gabby, though, how many times has she just come in with a clutch shot? This has been so many times.
She is. That's one thing. When you can hit it at the range, fine and dandy. But when you hit high-pressure shots in high-pressure situations, that's when you really get hit up by the FaZe clan.
She's got that Chris Kyle breathing technique to be able to calm yourself down and take the shot.
And they're like, hey, we want you to be part of the FaZe clan. We know that you don't do anything. You just have 3 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
So we want you to be a part of the team. No one's ever heard of you, but they will go to your profile, see that your name is FaZe Smokey, and they're going to just eat you up.
Yeah.
They're going to
They're
love
like,
you.
most times people just check in on the streams when you're a girl
Yep.
because you're probably showing some cleavage or somewhat. But you're actually good enough to where they're going to watch your gameplay.
Here's your promo code you need to plug for 20% off G Fuel.
Yep.
You made it. Congratulations.
But then
Our fearless leader is a guy named FaZe Banks.
But that's what Flock, though, when he takes that shot to the shoulder, he falls into the water. And do you think this is the end of Flock? Does he get taken out by Gabby?
I mean, I just hate how they leave this open-ended. If he's
I know.
alive, I'll call bullshit, not because of the wound to his shoulder, but he dropped from such a distance that water should have acted as if it was concrete.
But here's the thing, though. I
love when you try and fight physics, so please go ahead.
I think, now I don't know if it showed this, I could be wrong. I think he pencil dived last second, and that's how you break the tension of the water, surface tension. And when you pencil dive, you can do that from approximately 200 feet in the air and actually survive. So I'm thinking that he kind of twisted himself, did a pencil dive.
I think they made it
landed on
very clear, given the shot was him looking like a starfish, and they showed it for about 5 seconds of him falling and then landing in the water that way. So
Well, I
I
didn't
like
see
that
it,
you
so-
tried to fight for him, but I'm calling him baloney. Do not show me this guy again. Okay. We're just off on tangents tonight. People are
Oh
gonna
my
hate that.
God. You know what he's going to do.
What's he gonna do?
He's hanging on to the... Oh my God. We've figured this out, Ronnie. He is
To the bottom
literally
of the boat.
hanging on to the flying boat that's getting dragged behind, and
Yeah.
he's literally just hanging onto the back of it, just floating through.
That's what he's doing.
Oh
We're
my
gonna get that
God.
sucker up in the air. They're going to spend half a day.
He's under it the entire
We're
time.
gonna spend half a day preparing it, and he's still going to take us by surprise in the skies.
For all the JoJo fans out there, he's pulling a Stroheim, and he's hiding in the waterbed of the flying boat.
Oh my
That is
God,
so epic.
he's gonna pull such a classic Stroheim. So Mika says she kills more people. Very cool. Literally slices someone's head off.
Again.
She's been dying to do that since Aaron. Don't you know it? That's why she's
yeah.
doing it so much. She's scratching that itch.
Wait, you're talking about when he got his head blown off?
Well, yeah, his wasn't sliced; it was blown off. But just like decapitation,
Yeah.
she's really into that now.
Oh, yeah. She's like, God, that was hot. Just starts doing it.
She then takes the body of the headless corpse, throws it at another guy, and then kebabs the two of them together. I like to call it a kebab when you poke someone with a sword.
Because she used like the strings of the ODM gear to like throw it. God, it was so crazy.
Yeah, right. And then for good measure, she takes one of their ODM gears and sets off a thunder spear right at the bottom of both of them, blows them up for good measure.
And the blood flies over her and pours down on her while she gives the sickest look at the screen.
Yeah, yikes. I am, you could say my concern level for her mental state is at like a 9. I think would be a nice place to put it. I've got it at a 9 right now.
My concern level for my lower mental level, if you know what I mean,
Don't.
is a 9. Because, by God, that got me going.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I just think she's in such a good place with some distance between Aaron. You know? She seems healthy. Good for her. Anya Capone says, good news, guys. I know how to captain ships as well, so get on this bad boy. Hanji's standing in a really weird way. It's like she pulled her back out or something. I don't know why she's standing like
I'm
this.
loving this. Hanji making me act different. You go, girl.
She tells Jean, let's go before more show up. Falco, he gives everyone a cockle-doodle-doo, as he can't control the Titan right now. It's that first transformation bump that he's got. He scares me a bit, starts chomping on Peak's cart Titan.
And uses that second mouth, that outer mouth, to do it.
Yeah, the second jaw he does. But don't worry, because Magath is there to cut him out.
I love this right here. I love that Magath in the scout uniform pulls out Falco, just like Mikasa pulled out Aaron in his first transformation.
And we're getting to the emotional part. This is where they first start leading us into it. He tells Falco that he did well.
God, so...
And I'm not sure that he did. I don't
He
know.
killed a few.
Are we sure? Did he do anything positive other than stealing the focus of some enemies? Which is good.
Yeah.
Good for him. He
really is like their dad, man. That's so heartbreaking.
The team is worn out. They're heading to the ship. Magath says to head out, he's going to hold the rear. And they do just that. They start leaving. Gabby asks where Commander Magath is, and Peak says it's General now.
Yeah. People keep messing up. They keep saying Commander in the show.
I don't like it. Give the man his title. So he starts running back, and two scaredy cats were hiding out this entire time. Where the fuck were these two dickwads? And it's about this time that it's bittersweet. I have to do the rest of this recap from here on out. And I apologize. There's going to be a lot of line-by-line reading because it all is so fucking awesome.
Best part of the series is coming up.
So they start shooting, but not for long as a tannish brown blur sweeps across the screen. And let's... moment of silence. I don't care that this podcast is an hour and 10 minutes as it is right now. 10-second moment of silence. Again. Here we go. The patent is still pending. And also, I just love seeing the crop top jacket.
Oh my God, I have that written right here. I've got a great line coming up.
Okay, all right. Oh, finish this. Okay. So Magath asks if he's the one who took out the reinforcements that Ronnie forgot about. And I had, at this point, a full-on, and I'm sorry, it's not mature, but it's true, full-on respect boner.
Mm-hmm. You did.
It's a full chub.
Saw it.
There's another ship, turns out. Magnus says that it's fast enough to catch the other one, so he can't just leave it here.
I know. And I want to say this line before you keep moving on. I put
I'll say it.
Keith in the OG Scout brown jacket crop top swoops in, slaying these fucking tots like he's a cook at a sports bar.
Oh, yeah. I love getting me some tots at a sports bar. Keith says, I'll give you a hand. The two bros, man. What did we say? What did we say about these two guys colliding?
When two unstoppable forces collide, what happens?
Magic.
Yes.
An anomaly. So, down on the ship, they start to be surrounded. Theo isn't worried. He's getting ready to light it up. He tells Keith, now is your last chance to take a swim.
Mm-hmm. Isayama, he's been listening to this pod. To write something in like this, oh my God, he knows us way too well, Ronnie.
I thought I was going to be so sad when this day came. And don't get me wrong, I was sad, but I was so full of respect, admiration, honor, any heroic word. That's how I felt. I didn't even, it was the kind of thing that happened and one single tear fell down and I didn't let it fall off. You know what I did? Licked it. I went, got it.
And then you sputtered. I heard you sputter, sensei. And I was like, what did you just say? You're like, oh, nothing. I was like, okay.
All right. God, they're fucking down here. He's not swimming. You think he's going to swim? Quote of my life. Not quote of the week, not quote of the day. Quote of my life. Keith says, no thanks. I've been looking for a good time to die.
Oh my God.
So fucking cool.
Keith say D's. My God. If there was ever a moment where I cried at this television program, it is right now. It is right now. And I'm telling you, second watch through, started tearing up. I didn't the first time because tried to be a man. You and Travis were in the room, but I started tearing up.
And I told you, the first time through, I saw where this was going. And I was picking up on the vibe. The words, I stopped reading at one point. The second time through, I was catching all this, and it was really sinking in down into my veins. And I was like, oh my God, this is just, that's too much. He said, no thanks, I've been looking for a good time to die.
I mean, could he have said something any cooler than that?
Well,
No.
Okay. When this podcast blows up, and we become we join Phase. We are mega stars.
Yep.
All right?
We're up there with Bezos. Net
We
worth.
are mega stars. And then we think, you know what? Oh, we'll keep doing the podcast. We enjoy it. We have fun. We can't forget about the little fishies. But we also want to become action stars. We're going to become action stars. We're going to star in a buddy cop action movie. Do you know the name of the movie? I think you do. A Good Time to Die. Starring Ronnie and Chaz.
And we portray, like our characters that we portray, because we're acting, we're
Right.
great actors, we're awesome at it. We portray Theo and Keith.
Yeah, we do. That's
my
just...
God.
There will be a select few people that go, hey, are these guys just ripping off Keith and Theo from Attack on Titan? But a lot of people, ignorant Americans, they're not going to know that. And they're just going to think, are these the two most well-written characters I've ever seen? In this buddy cop movie called A Good Time to Die, starring Ronnie and Chaz.
Oh my! Can you even think of two side characters that have come together and had in anything
No.
you've ever watched had such an epic conclusion and moment
They will not.
in history? There's
will not.
nothing like this. There's nothing like this, dude.
And that's exactly what people are going to think when they're watching Ronnie and Chad in the movie.
Yes.
And it's a film, too.
It's a film.
But they're going to watch it in a movie theater. But they're watching a film, and they're going to go, oh my... Who knew they had these acting chops? I thought these were just the guys that gave us 5% off of scuff controllers.
Best part of the film, too. It's name the title of it again.
A Good Time to Die.
Okay, it's gonna be Ronnie and Chaz. Is it gonna say Ronnie and Chaz, A Good Time to Die, or is it gonna say Theo and Keith, A Good Time to Die?
No, it's going to say Ronnie and Chaz,
Okay.
A Good Time to Die.
Ronnie
'Cause
and
we
Chaz-
will be taking the credit.
And here's what's gonna be the title though: Ronnie and Chaz, A Good Time to Die, the movie. But it's gonna be a film. But we're gonna have the movie at the end of it.
That's how you know it's a...
Yes.
When you go to see A Good Time to Die, the movie, you know you're going into a film before it even starts. The sequel, by the way, Ronnie and Chad's A Good Time to Die, subtitle, still looking for it. Because it's a cash cow. We're going to milk every last drop of it. We're still looking for A Good Time to Die. Okay. Hollywood, call us. Oh my God, I don't want to. Okay, here we go. Theo, he hears this line, doesn't even flinch. He doesn't even try and fight with him. He just knows, that this is a man who knows what he wants. And if he wants to be here with him in the end, the more the merrier. Welcome.
It's I think he realized in that moment, it's like the moment where Aaron goes, Reiner, I am the same as you. Mm-hmm. That is what Theo's thinking in his head. Keith, I am the same as you. Or he doesn't know his name yet. He's just thinking, you, I am the same as you.
But he's chatting with this guy. They got about 45 seconds left. He says, why did you join us? Keith says, I saw some old students of mine heading south with Annie Leonhardt.
And oh my God, Ronnie. You are a professional, okay? You called this. I didn't have a single inkling, okay, that's what that was. You called this from the beginning, okay? And the best part is, Keith got to mention Annie Lionheart too. He got to mention her.
Yeah.
That was one of his star pupils. He got to see her and say her name again.
It's my biggest claim to fame. I was so excited when that happened. He also says,
"This is," and then this is when, okay, this moment's happening. Mm-hmm. The piano starts playing. The violin is playing, and I just couldn't handle it. I could not handle it. Keep going.
Keith goes on to say, when I saw her, I realized their plan. My heart was moved by how much they've grown.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the thing about a guy like this. You think he's being a dick just to be a dick. You know, he's yelling at people for potatoes. He's making fun of names like Samuel, even though they're like the main character of the show. But it's all out of love. He's preparing them for the cruel world that lays ahead of them.
And he is special. He's a special man, and I can't believe he ever thought he wasn't.
It's like, okay, I had my favorite teacher in high school. His name was Mr. Bradford. He was such a geek, but okay. Had him for English 2 years, and then I took newspaper for 2 years because I've always wanted to tell a story. Mm-hmm. Thought I was going into the newspaper biz. Turns out that business dying. For years, me and my good friend, who we still stay in touch, we're like, oh, we got to chat with Mr. Bradford. We got to go take Mr. Bradford for breakfast. But years go by, you realize, well, I haven't really done anything that's worth mentioning. This is kind of embarrassing if I go. But no, Keith Sadie's seeing how he feels about these
young tots.
They don't care. He's just proud of them. I am going to sign up for Facebook Messenger. Oh my God. That's still a second app for some reason, and say, hey, Mr. Bradford, you want to go with me and Tommy and get a bite at an IHOP? Because that's where you go and take teachers. You go to an IHOP.
The evolution of this broken man becoming one with himself and his soul.
Theo says, if you hadn't stopped the reinforcements that Ronnie forgot about, we would have been goners. You'll soon be known as one of the heroes who saved the world. And at that point, I know what you're thinking, Chad. You're like, this can't get any better.
I was thinking it. You were right.
But then do you know what Keith says? I'll tell you what he says. He says, that makes two of us. The respect! Take it a walk.
Oh.
Take it a walk. He says, the respect, Chadley. Oh. The two here. The two. Hey, our third movie, by the way. The two heroes that saved the world.
He's special.
Oh, he is. God. Okay. And it was at this point that we stood up and gave genuine salutes to the rest of the episode.
Oh, we did. When you stood up, I said, I know what my duty must be. Okay.
I was so overcome by I didn't even feel myself standing up. I just saw myself.
And you didn't even hear me say, I know what my duty must be while I stood
All
up.
I did was at one point I looked over and you two were standing up too. And I was like, did they stand up at the same time as me, before, after me? I don't know. They're just standing up too, giving genuine salutes. As Theo is pouring gunpowder on the floor, it's on the floor, all right? He says, I refuse to pat myself on the back. Mm-hmm. He says, ignoring my conscience, I ordered around children to serve the country's interests and commanded them to destroy the wall. He's just taking all the blame above it.
They are the same.
But I finally realized if those kids can live normal lives, how happy that would make me.
Oh my God. And then it shows us a shot
Of them.
of all the warriors. Oh, dude, that gets the heart going there.
Is that when you cry? When did you cry? When did you cry?
That part right there.
Yep.
It shows how innocent, especially knowing the monster that Gabby has made a huge turn. She's not the psychopath she was. But that's exactly why he's looked at Gabby multiple times throughout the season and been like, oh shit, I created a monster in her.
Yeah.
And now he sees her turn the corner. He's like, I just want her to live a happy life. Be a happy girl.
I mean, he just told Falco he did a good job.
Oh, dude.
He was so chaotic, you know?
And the
but
best
he's trying
part-
his best. He was trying his best.
The best part is Keith did the same thing. He trained a bunch of children too to be soldiers.
I gotta hold Ebenezer.
He knows this all too well. Keith knows this all too well. They understand each other. They are one.
Ebenezer likes it when you tickle his tummy. All right. Here we go. Let's do it together. Let's get through the rest of it together. Keith turns into the dad of the year, by the way. Dad of the year to Magath, who's like the same age as him. You might not pat yourself on the back, but I'm proud of you.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
This is a genius.
Kidding me? There's some asshole outside the door. Fuck them. They're not even there as far as I'm concerned. All they are is just a reason that we can't get out of this situation. It's got to be the way it is. All right? Don't look at them.
Yeah, who cares?
Keith hands him a rifle and says, I'm sure those kids would agree. Oh, oh my God.
And you know what, Keith? The kids were proud of you as well, and they agree.
Theo says thank you and then asks the best question you could ever ask after such a meaningful, heartfelt conversation, which is, by the way, what's your name? He says, Keith Shotties. And you? And he lies the rifle down. He lies it down. Right to where the fucking hammer, the gunpowder, but right there by the gunpowder. It says, Theo McGath. Blows up the ship. And no one even dares say a fucking thing because we are doing the third podcast pending moment of silence starting right now.
The piano and violin was beautiful.
So beautiful. Oh my God.
They finally get to rest.
I can be your hero, baby.
I can kiss away the pain.
I will stand by you forever.
Did they get to shake hands?
You can take my breath away. No. So they went out with just a fist. They fist bumped each other.
Oh. What a conclusion to these two guys.
And I hate to say, in the movie,
Okay.
there will be a scene where we are exploding someone. And we time it right to where I just look over at you, you look over at me. We give a fist bump. And you know how people sometimes do the fist bump and they go...
Yeah.
When we do that, there will actually be an explosion.
An explosion. And when we do that, too, we're going to have our cop names. Really, it's not our real names the entire time. It's Ronnie and Chaz.
Right.
While we're fist bumping, we say our real, not undercover cop names to each other.
And then, here, I'm going to write this line for you.
Okay.
Because I think it's a cool line. I think you'll nail it. You take off your sunglasses, you look at me, and you go, well, Ronnie, guess it just wasn't our time to die.
Yeah.
And then the credits close, and then you go, we're still looking for it. That's why the second movie is we're still looking for it.
That'll be in the 6th one, and then we'll keep going from there. But, dude, I genuinely, my heart, this is how I felt when the way Irwin went out, these two right here, it couldn't have been any better. It really could not have been any better.
I mean, to me, like, it's same level as Irwin's speech, and I'm not even kidding. It's with less words, but, it's so fucking delicious.
The understanding that they both have of each other without ever seeing each other is just unmatched, dude.
Because
this genius writing. Genius.
You take the same person, you plug them in to the other person's slot, I don't think much is changing. You know, you put Keith, you grow him up as young Theo McGath. It's what he's gonna do. You take Theo, you get him in the cadet squad. That's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
Yelling at people for eating potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Fucking beautiful, man.
And, you know, they could have ended it there, but they said, you know what? It's the penultimate episode. God, I almost forgot to say penultimate episode today. And that is why I became a podcaster, was to be able to say penultimate episode of a season. Mm-hmm. So thank God I remember that.
Penultimate, great word.
There's going to be an after credit scene.
Yep.
And on the ship, they're heading for Odiha. How are we saying this?
Odiha, yeah.
Odiha? Nice. They can't save Liberio and Marley. Andy says that if that's true, my entire reason for fighting is gone. I'm getting off the ship.
Did you catch this too when it showed before the post-credit scene? When it blew up, the smoke started arising from the blow. Yeah. It formed a heart in the sky.
Did it?
It did. You had to look real close. Did it quick.
And then it played the very end of the season 2 OP, and you just heard Falling Angel.
Yes. Yeah. Like a fall. Really, that was written about Keith this entire time.
So no, I didn't know what you were gonna say. I can tell you the truth. The first time this after credit scene was playing, didn't hear a single word. I was still riding the high from what I just watched. But when I rewatched, took notes on it, here's what's said. Annie says she's getting off the ship. Hanji says, listen, Liberio and Marley's destruction was inevitable. Peak, this was so cute. She's being big sis to Gabby. Right there, holding her, you know, giving her a shoulder to cry on. Connie, he's helping Armin around. He's feeling really good about himself. I'm feeling good about him as well.
This has to hurt for Peak, too, because I feel like she was probably the closest to McGath out of all of them.
That's true. I can pick up on that for sure. Hanji says, Magath gave his life so we could push ahead. He did it entrusting us to save people whose names he'd never know. God, come on.
She's got to add
we just
fuel
went
to the fire.
You gotta keep doing this to us, Hanji.
You know what's sad about this too is I really thought there was a chance Hanji, the way he just went out, I really thought Hanji would have been with him. You know how they've been side by side these last couple episodes.
I mean, you were shipping it pretty hard.
I was.
I thought like 3 episodes in a row. I
thought there was a chance this could also happen to Hanji, where she does a little sacrifice with him, and they let the young group go ahead. She does a little Irwin, because this is they basically pulled a Irwin right here. I mean, he's the general. Keith was the commander at one time. They're the head of the group. They pulled a little sacrifice to let the group keep moving on to have a chance. And I thought, oh shit, that could happen to Hanji.
Well, what I like about Hanji is, you know, Theo staying behind happened so quick. He told Anya Capone, really. There's kids who won't necessarily understand the situation. Hanji knows. He stayed to say. She knows exactly what he was doing. Sacrificed his life. And so the fact that she's given him the honor to say it is just, can't get enough. Annie, she's talking to Mikasa now. She says, in that case, I'll ask you again. Can you kill Eren? If I try to kill Eren, can you stand by and watch? I'm sick of killing each other. I don't want to fight with you anymore. Not you guys, not even Eren. I mean, well, that guy, but end of episode.
End of episode. And her poor dad. Her dad is going to get stomped out.
Right, because that's what they're talking about, how they've already been through that. You think that's the case? Do we just show up and it's already smushed, or do we see any of the chaos at Liberio or Marley?
I think if we see the chaos, it's like a little
elsewhere.
No, it's like a little flashback. You know what I mean? It's like the chaos is happening while they're fighting the Jaegerist, but they show us that point of view from wherever the Colossals are.
I like that.
And but you know what sucks though is I really was pulling for Annie to at least see her dad one more time. That's gonna suck if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, he was such a good guy.
Okay, Ronnie.
He wasn't that good of a guy. If people don't remember, he kind of trained her.
We're gonna talk about it a little bit more. Okay, we got to talk about this little situation.
All right, let's talk about it. The podcast is only at an hour and a half. I'm fine.
Where does this rank? This moment right here, in all seriousness.
Top.
Okay.
Right there with the Irwin stick.
It's right there.
And you might be mad when we get to. Here's the thing. Yes. Do we play it up a little bit? Sure. Or we did. Was the idea of having like a favorite character who, as Travis said earlier, was in like 5 episodes, which is underballing it a little bit, but he was not in a whole lot. The fact that Keith Sadie's ended up being such a vital part gives me all the ammo that I need to put him right at the top of my... right at the
Hey,
top.
you know what else this proves? Ronnie and Chad were right all along,
That's
okay?
right.
We
Go
were
back.
right all along.
Hey, you newcomers! First of all, glad to have you. Don't hate you for not being or for being new and not listening to all the episodes. Go listen to like our fifth one where we were calling a guy, Keith Sadie's, who wasn't even Keith Sadie's.
Yeah.
That's how excited we were to see him.
We loved him so much. We knew this moment was coming.
We'd only published like 4 podcasts. We had to publish a completely separate podcast, apologizing for our blunder.
I mean,
Because we've been riding with this guy since day one.
you know what else this shows too? This was one of Isayama's favorite characters from the beginning as well, and we knew it. We knew it.
We knew it. One of these days, Isayama's going to come on the podcast, and we might have some trouble talking with him, but we are going to just have a great chit chat.
Yes.
Anything else? I might not be able to sleep tonight.
Oh, I'm going to be up all night just thinking about this moment, rewatching it in different languages, see how they did.
All right. Everyone knows what to do. Twitter at Podcast Chronic. Patreon this week. Here's your little plug for that. You can join for $5 a month. You get 4 podcasts a month. That's $1.25. Not bad at all. This past week, I told a story about how Travis and I were in a fight. And it was pretty juicy, if I do say so myself. And you told some stories about our good pal Radio at work.
I did.
So hop on over there, check it out if you'd like. Join the Discord. Link is also in the
Love to have
description
you.
for that.
YouTube.
Oh,
Give us the
you
YouTube.
gotta do the YouTube.
Subscribe to us. We want to get to 300. As soon as we get to 300, we get another plaque.
You better calm down over there, 300. Be careful what you're wishing for. Let's keep it realistic. Let's go 225
Okay.
first. All right, I've been Ronnie.
I've been Chazzy.
Peace.
Peace.
It's at this time I believe that my brother in arms, Chad Chart, has prepared a poem. It's at this time I believe that my brother in arms. I can't do it. It's so stupid. It's at this time I believe that my brother in arms, Chad Chart, has prepared a poem. All right. The poem. It's a silly word.
Okay.
It's at this time I believe that my brother in arms, Chad Chart, has... I'm just going to the... Has prepared a poem in honor of our fallen heroes. I think I got it out. I can edit around it.
Okay. I will now be performing a self-made...
I'm done. I can't look at you now.
All right.